let's begin today's Leetcode session. Let's open the first question of today, which is course schedule. There are total of num courses. Courses you have to take labeled from 0 to num courses minus 1. You're given an array prerequisites where prerequisites I indicates that you must take course B before you take course I, A. Okay. For example, pair 01 indicates that to take course 0, you have to take course 1. Alright. Return true if you can finish all the courses, otherwise return false. Got it. So it's kind of a dependency over here that if we see, for example, for this is a cycle. All right. 1 0 1. Got it. First condition that we can interpret for this from this example is very simple. What's the question? Question is course schedule. This is the first example, right? This leads cyclic graph will always give false to us, right? Yeah, this is one of the interpretations that we need. We got all the pairs are unique. All right, we can detect cycle and graph using DFS. We can do it, right? This is one of the conditions. Other condition is total courses are 2. We have to check if the user can take all the courses or not. That is, the user goes here, right? For example, it's 101, comma 0 is the dependency over here. For taking 1, you should have taken course 0. So it's like directed graph. We need to have a DAG, directed acyclic graph. 0 to 1 is the path. We can traverse every single node. Then only we can visit. Then only we can return true. So basically, in a DAG, if we can visit single node, take all the courses. This is what we can interpret from this. Yeah, this is what we can interpret from this. So yeah. All right. Basic thing. One thing is we need to create an adjacency list, right? Let's do one thing. For creating adjacency list, let's create a utility function over here. Let's try with void create adjacency. It will get just this is what we get, right? Now for I 0 I to n, right? And adjacency dot get edges of I 1 dot add edges of I of 0. Why this? It's kind of, if I have this course to take, like if I have this array 1 to 0, then 1 is interdependent on, see, this is what I have over here. Then 1 is interdependent on 0. Hence, this would lead me to this edge. This will be the edge, right? So this is what this adjacency, create adjacency will be doing. All right, next is, of course, we need to create the list. This will create the adjacency list. Yeah. All right. What next? We also need to check. Great. How do we know that the user can take current course or not? How do we know that? For example, if something is like this, if a graph is something like this, let's say I have 1 over here, I have 2 over here, I have 3 over here. To take 1, you have to take 3. To take 1, you have to take 2. And to take 3, you have to take 2. Now, the first course that I'll have to take is 2. Right? This is what my first course will be. Now, I know this will be my initial value which I'll take. This will be my course, right? How do I know which course to take? Basically, any course within degree 0 is what I can take. So any that the user can take. So after creating my adjacency list, I'll have to calculate in degree of every single course, which is int, right? And let's say we do this, and yeah, private void calculating degree. Degree. Right, for int. Okay. Basically, for every single node, I'll do degree of IT plus equals to 1. This will give me the degree of every single course. To set up initial queue, what I have to do is queue with integer queue queue. Keyword offer I, and the next thing is while my queue plot. Right. Get current node. Right, and this work. Adjacency dot get edges I1 dot add. Acha, ठीक है. This is where this is not doing here, right? All right, it worked. Yeah. Let's see if I got the right solution or not. What are we doing in this?
Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's write some more neat code today. So today let's look at a graph problem actually. It's called course schedule. We're given a total number of courses and these are our nodes and they're labeled from 0 to n-1 basically. So some courses have prerequisites. For example, if you want to take course 0, you have to first take course 1 and that's represented as a pair or as an edge in our graph. So if you want to take course 0, you have to first take course 1. And the only question we want to answer is it possible for us to finish every course? So let's just look at the first example. We're given number of courses are 2, so that means we have one course 0 and another course 1. We know that the prerequisites are like this, meaning that if we want to take course 1, we have to first take course 0. And I'm going to represent it as an edge going outward from 1 into 0. So what do they mean by possible? Let's just run through each of our courses and see is it possible to take each one. So for 0, is it possible to take 0? Well, we don't have any outward edges from 0, so that means 0 does not have any prerequisites. So it is possible for us to complete course 0. Then we look at course 1. It has one prerequisite, which is 0. And we know 0 is possible to complete. So once we finish course 0, then we're allowed to take course 1, which has no other prerequisites, right? The only prerequisite was course 0. So therefore, both of these courses are possible to complete, so we can return true. So let's look at an example where it's actually impossible. So we're given n equals 2. That means we have two courses, 0 and 1, and we're given two prerequisites, so 1, 0 and 0, 1. This one means that if we want to finish course 1, we have to first complete course 0. So 0 is a prerequisite. The second one means that if we want to finish course 0, we have to finish course 1 first. So 1 is a prerequisite of 0. So the problem with this is kind of obvious, right? There's a cycle. So if we want to finish course 0, we got to go finish course 1. If we want to finish course 1, we got to finish course 0, and it just goes like that forever. So neither of the courses are possible to finish. So in this case, we return false. So we can actually solve this problem using depth first search. We can also use breadth first search, and I'm going to show you just the depth first search version because I like it better. So given this new example, the first thing you want to do is visualize it. So I'm going to draw a picture. So we're given 5 nodes. So we have
Okay, one of the algo is basically to detect cycles, right? Which I wrote over here. Cyclic graph will always give false, right? If the graph is not cyclic, we can basically take every single course. One of the ways is to use detect cycle algorithm. One is what I did, which is in degree. What's the string? In degree, create an adjacency list. Yeah, create a queue, and any course with 0 in degree is pushed into queue. Then we get finished thing, right? Got it. Yeah, so basically there can be two solutions. One is cyclic, this use. All right, yeah. Great. So okay, what are we doing using BFS? Got it. So we did it. Nice. Great. Next is graph valid tree. Oh, alright, it's paid on Leetcode. You can solve it on Leetcode then. Given n nodes labeled from 0 to n minus 1 and a list of undirected edges, each edge is a pair of nodes. Write a function to check whether these edges make up a valid tree or not. Alright, to check if it's a valid tree or not. What do we have to do? Alright, let's see. Let's build this graph first. This goes from 0 to 1, 0 to 2, then it goes 0 to 3, then it goes 1 to 4. This is a valid tree. For the next one, it is 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 1 to 3, alright, and 1 to 4. So basically, any acyclic graph is a tree, right? Yeah, any acyclic graph is a tree. So all we have to do is check whether the graph is cyclic or not. All we have to do is check for a cycle. If there is a cycle present, if there is a cycle present, it's not a valid tree. If there is no cycle present, it is a valid tree, right? That's what we need to do. So cool. How do we check if it is a cycle or not? First, you need to create an adjacency list. I can just copy this now. There we go. right, let's go. You create an adjacency list. Next thing you need to do is check if the graph is cyclic or not. Yeah. All right. This is the basic structure of the function. Basically, if the graph is cyclic, it returns false. Hence, it's not a tree. And if it's not cyclic, it returns true. Now, how do we check if our graph is a cyclic graph or not? First things first. What we do is mark current node as true. Right. We mark current node as true. Right. Over here to see how we do. Mark it as true. Basically, what if a second, if I go here, how do we check for cycles? This is the question. What if I revisit any particular?
Hey everyone, welcome. I'm going to use is a hash map to represent this. So for each of our courses, we are going to have a list of all of its prerequisites. So for 0, we know 0 has 2 prerequisites, 1 and 2. And we're going to repeat that for every single course. So for 1, we know that 2 does not have any prerequisites, so we can just put an empty list over here. 4 also does not have any prerequisites, so we get another empty list. So now we're going to run depth first search on every single node. I'm going to do it in the order from 0 to n minus 1. So be starting at 0, so we're going to run depth first search on it, right? How are we going to do the depth first search? Well, we have our prerequisite map, so we're going to do it recursively. We see that it has 2 prerequisites, 1 and 2. So now let's run depth first search on the first neighbor 1. So now we look at 1.
Else, if it is already visited, yeah. Else it is already visited. What what we do is, see, for example, I start from 1. This looks like this. 3, 4. For example, let's say I begin from 1. I mark 1 as visited. Yeah. Then I go ahead, get adjacency list 2. 2 is not visited, so I go ahead, do a DFS. Yeah. Right, since it's a non-directed graph, so if oh right, why does this fail? It is 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 1, 4. Right, let's check for this. This graph appears somewhat to be like this. Right, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. And that's how the graph appears to be. This graph is, right? What are we doing? Doesn't it get word wrap? Alright, create an adjacency list, and then we have a boolean array visited. Everything is false. Since it is false for 0, okay, it is 0 minus 1. Yeah. Hey, hi, bro. What is up? Alright, so since it goes into this with -1, yeah. Okay, it's returning the opposite outputs. So it's like it goes into this with -1, parent visited current is marked as true. Then for every single edge of that adjacency list, if we are not visited, we do a cyclic. Alright, this work. I don't think this will work. Yeah, this won't work yet. Basically, goes into a cyclic again with adjacent as 1. Now we're at 1. Okay, let me change the marker color. And now we're at 1. And the parent is this. Right. So it's like this is the parent now. This is where we are currently at. Goes inside since it marks 1 as visited. Yeah. Gets everything attached to 1, which is what? 0 and 4. 0 and 4 are attached over here. Right. And yeah, let's say it goes for 0 first. Is current radical parent? Current radical parent. Alright. Got it. We gotta do it for iterator. Basically, if iterator is not equal to parent, then return true that it is cyclic. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything and goes out. So over here, checks is iterator equal to parent? Yes. Skips this, returns false. It should ideally return false. Comes back, goes to 4. Now we are currently at this, right? And since we are at this position now, mark it as true. It has nothing. Comes back to 1. Comes back to 1. Now what it does? Return false from there. So it was here, right? It returns false from here also. Yeah, I don't see any issue. What's the issue then? Alright, how do we check cycle? First of all, let me check that first. Visited node action.get. If visited node is not visited, we do a DFS. Of course, one of the thing is done through from here. Yeah, that was the minor issue basically. Now this should work. Didn't. 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, alright. Okay, great. One thing that we need to do is we also need to keep a check of components. Yeah, it has to be a single component graph. That's one of the conditions also. Yeah, this worked successfully. And yep. Cool. Yeah, great. Print the number of connected graphs in an undirected graph, right? Great. This worked. Number of connected components in a graph. Okay, this is again a paid question, so open it in neat code. The nodes are numbered from 0 to n minus 1. Okay. Hey, wait a second. Where is Notion? In a directed graph, it would be different, right? Alright, what are we doing? Number of connected components in a directed graph is okay, it's simple actually. This should work. Okay, what happened? Oh, yeah. What? Expected output is 3. Is it not marking current as true? It is marking, right? What's happening over here? Okay, this is strange. Of course, the expected output is 1 over here. My code is definitely giving the wrong answer. 0 to 1, 2, 3, 2 to 3. There should be 2. The output should be 2. For int I0 to ni plus plus. If this is not visited, add the components, the plus and do a DFS on the adjacency list. It is an undirected graph. Okay, great. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it works. This will return the number of components. Yep. Great. 3 questions done for the graph. It's cool. That's a hard question. Not in the mode of doing it. Cool. So let's explore some stuff. Maybe. Okay. Let me check if my Cali is up and working now. Is it working? Access blocked, authorization error, missing parameter, client ID is not present. Okay, let me check what's the issue. Here are details. Yeah, what are the error? General overflow. Alright. Let's see what's the error. Cool. Caddy. Do I have auth client and auth secret? Yes, I do have it. Do I? Oh, got it. The issue is very simple over here. So ovi.cmv. Does this work? Direct URI, okay. Carrier on server.dev/auth. Alright. This is working fine, I guess. What's the issue then? Wait, give me a second. Yes, it is. Couple of 3 direct URI. Okay. Unauthorized. Yes, it is unauthorized. Google underscore auth underscore redirect underscore URI. Okay. Alright, this is correct. Let me just update the title. Great. Cool. Got it. The issue might be lying here. Is this the issue or what? Visual package.json is building. Okay, fuck it. So take really load actually. I guess I got to move it to Docker container deployment stuff because it's taking it's a hassle to deploy again and again actually. Alright, is my action running? Is my action up and running? Have I added an action or not, first of all? Okay, I think I haven't added any GitHub action for this. Cool. Good. Cool. Reload Kali. Production mode. Right. Yeah, cool. Let's do one thing. Okay. It is getting undefined. Got it. That's the issue. I think over here. Okay. Let's see the path. Great. Wait, what can I do over here? Let me. Code, let's do one thing. Just follow Undefined, that is getting undefined. Yeah. Alright. It won't work again. It would again give me same error. Oh no, it worked this time. Client ID is missing, of course, because it is not receiving any client ID from here. Basically, it is not able to resolve.env file. Got it. So, what is this do? Let's see. What is the dot exception? It's optional. .env custom dot. Okay. So, this is one thing. Dot resolve. Solve npm run start give. Yes, east one. Cali backend.env. Okay, it would resolve it on its own, right? Just one thing. Cool. Build. Cool. Just as a git push and cool. Did it resolve part2.env? Cali.env. Yep, it resolved. It should work now. Let's see. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Hopefully it did. Yes, it did. Most probably it did work. And yeah, email address. Yeah, that's great. It's working fine. Cool. Now it is working fine actually. What we need to do over here is very simple now. I just need to add a or to click on profile or maybe let's give a cool. At least that's working. That's really good. Alright. The next thing that we need to add is in Cali a copy link somewhere over here which shares the user ID. Basically, what do you say? A link over where different users can come and schedule a meet with me. So that's what we need to do now, right? It will be very simple, I think. Let's see. I gotta go in this. compiler. I can go in dashboard.basics, yeah. Git push and pull. Yeah, cool. Let's see what we need to do over here is very simple. Okay, this is a finances. Where is dot in? We have this. Okay. Let me do one thing. I got to update this URL basically. Right, let's not do this. Just pause this. Right. Alright, let's do one thing. Start table. It's still in progress. Cool. Let's see it logs me in or not. It should. Alright, great. This is where I have it. Need to add a page which is what? Maybe ahead of your events. Yeah, this is where I'll add it. It'll be a button. Oh, a second. What am I using? Am I using Tailwind or what? Okay, I'm using Tailwind. Why is this not working? Why is this not working then? That's my question. Oh, alright, I need this one. This would work. Tradition 200 would work. Cool. Alright, next thing is Wait a second. Alright, this works. I guess this works, yeah. What I need over here is very simple actually. I also need a share icon. Okay, not this one. Alright, why is this not coming in a proper way? Okay. Yeah, cool. Let's see if it worked. Yeah, it worked. Cool. Alright, close GPT. The next thing is cool, and the next thing I need to do is on click. All right. All right, let's see what it does. Ta-da, did it work? All right, one thing that I need to do is scheduler pay. In use effect, I'll check if it is the URL of current user. It will basically redirect the user to home page. So it's like, do I have use effect? All right. Hey, hi bro. Let's see if it works. Okay, it did not work. What? Uh, yeah, sure. Actually, I was planning to add a GitHub README file for this project, but I kind of stopped working on this project in between. Like it was due to Google Auth verification and all stuff. So yeah, I'll definitely add the README file for this project. I think it's the default one for now. Yeah, I'll add it for sure. Is it not entering? Yeah, it's not entering over here. Why? Uh, okay, let me check. I'll create the README file in the stream itself actually. Let's try refreshing it. Why is it just not working? Why is this not working? All right. Basically, it's a very simple Kali clone. Sorry, cal.com clone. What it does is, if you visit this URL, what you'll see is a complete dashboard of your own user, and users can come and schedule meetings with you. For example, if I go, let's say, schedule meeting with this user, I can enter the meeting titles, description, the time, the date, and I can send a meeting request. Then the user will receive an email on his or her end, and that when that user accepts the meeting, I receive an email, and that particular user also receives an email, and the event is added in both of our calendars, Google calendars. So on that particular day, we can basically connect. And until and unless the second user accepts the meeting, right? you won't be able to know their actual Gmail account. So it's kind of a cal.com clone, a very simple to use cal.com clone, which has an email microservice attached to it. So that's what it does basically. I'm just adding some final touches, which is number one, I didn't update the URL that so the authentication wasn't working properly in prod. Number two, I don't the user currently cannot share the scheduler link to their dashboard. So I'm adding that functionality. These are the two things that I'm currently adding. Oh, all right. This is not working because I haven't added dependency array. This should work now. It is 4 and 4. All right. Let's see if it works now. Yeah, cool. Working fine. I can simply share and I can add the URL over here. Cool. This is done. I haven't added the workflow for front end also, I guess. So I'll have to manually do it. Thanks a lot, bro. I Thanks a lot. Support is appreciated. I usually do come live every day to solve Leetcode or to build any side project. So yeah, you can join in and we can build stuff together. Right. npm run build. What is it's Cali frontend, right? Right. Is this up and running now? Yeah, it is up and running. Cool. So if anyone wants to try this out, you can simply visit this link to send me a meeting request and we can try it out live. So yeah, all you have to do is just sign in with Google. I have a whole privacy policy thing attached to the project so you can read how the data is being used or how am I storing this data. It's nothing that I am using the data to breach or anything, but yeah, the data is being stored very simply. So you can create an account without any hassle. Let me know if you're trying it out live. I can see the requests over here just with a single refresh and we can accept or reject the requests. Cool. This is done. Let's build the readme file. Let's create the readme file for this now. All right. Cool, cool, bro. Just create an account and you can send me a meeting schedule request and we can Maybe connect if you really want to connect. Hey, how do you add a URL? Let me know once you have sent me the request. I should ideally also receive an email if the microservice is up and running, but yeah, I would also receive an email once you do it. Let me do one thing actually. Let's try checking the DB. How's the login process going on? Yeah, I can see your email. You have created the account, great. Sent meetings as two. Right, why have I? Yeah, I got the email. Here you can see. I got this email that you have one new event request from Lakshya Jan. Lakshya, the guy at gmail.com. I think you sent me two requests, right? And please check more details. Alright, let me check. I should have received the request. Future collaboration. Yeah, I got it. Got two requests for 9 a.m. See, what you can do is if you want to do any open source contribution, basically right now I haven't implemented the logic where the user cannot, basically where the user can see key, okay, this time plot is already blocked or something like that. So if you want to contribute to this project, you can basically add that functionality. Now, if I accept this meeting, let's see the network request. Meeting accepted successfully. Hash what exactly? Acha, you're saying I should hash add it in a hash map. Are you saying that? Or a hash set? What are you saying exactly? I didn't get your point. I should have received a mail, or you should have received a mail actually on your email about it. Oh, okay, you're talking about that. You're talking about this email, right? Why we cannot simply hash your email while storing in DB is, see, no DB, no company hashes your email while storing it. Simple reason is because we need the email in order to communicate with you. What hashing will do is it will, we generally just hash passwords, not email IDs, right? Reason being, I cannot decode the hash while sending you emails. The hash can only be verified. It cannot be decoded. So I can't decode your hash for sending you emails. That's why I haven't hashed it. Like if you see my emails are also visible over here. That's how general emails are stored in DBs in organizations. So yeah, I haven't stored any password. So yeah, that's a DP provided by Google, of course. So there are a lot of scopes of improvements as of now. Two things that you can raise a PR on is number one, we do not send user the notification for an upcoming meeting. For example, you might have received an email right now that, okay, I have accepted a meeting. Do you want to accept or not? But before 9 a.m. on 19th Feb, I won't be sending any notification to you or my account about the upcoming meeting. So number one, that feature can be added. Number two, if you see, you've already sent me two requests for the same time. this uniqueness of these meetings can be added. So yeah, there are a lot of scope of improvements. You can raise PRs. Let's create the README file now. Oh, yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah, sure. Give me a minute. All right, this is the backend repo. I'll create an issue in this. All right, and I've added this. Cool, I can give it a tag actually. Anyways, okay, this is one of the issue, and the other issue will be okay. Let's see. Give labels. Feature enhancement here. Sure, bro. Cool. I'll accept your request for sure. All right. Next is I need to create a new issue. What was the other issue I told about? Anyways, this is not a kind of a necessary feature because Google Calendar will anyways be sending out notifications prior to the meeting. So yeah, but still it's a good issue. Cool. All right, I've accepted your LinkedIn request. Cool. receiving an email on any new request. I think that's pretty much it for the front end repo GitHub README. The main README will be for the back end, right? Oh, wait a second. Cool. This is the README for front end. All right, we can add it. No worries. I'll add it right now. Give me a moment. Cool. Wait, give me a moment. And locally, this is what we need, right? All right. In emailer, if you see, I don't have anything to run it specifically because all it does is, if you know about Lambda, if you know basics about Lambda, all it does is runs this handler function when the Lambda is invoked. So no big deal. It just creates a new email or content from this template, this very basic template, and just sends out the email. That's what it does. All right. Yeah, Lambda is basically nothing but a serverless function. All right. Let me know if you wanna know about lambdas or how lambdas actually work in AWS. I can maybe show you some basics about lambda. All right. Sure. Just give me a second. I'll just create the README of backend and then I can tell you about basics of lambda. All right. Sorry, didn't get your point. Can you please elaborate a little bit? Yeah, cool. All right, this works. I haven't got any data sample. Cool. I guess that's pretty much it actually for the README file. You can modify it. You can give a PR for README if you feel like adding anything else. No worries for that. Quick fix. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I can close Notion. Should have the README now. Yeah. Very basic README, I guess. It takes you to Google Meet URL. Basically, it creates a unique Google Meet URL and just sends it to both the users. So you see in my Google Calendar, I would have a meeting scheduled for 19th if just you want to continue verify it. Like anyways, it would be in your calendar also. So yeah, there you go. The Google Meet. Cool. All right. Next thing is yeah, you wanted to know about lambdas, right? Let's see about lambdas. I'm trying to say that conversation between us is very similar to what happens in peer programming and working in a startup, and they have a lot of peer programming sessions. That is it. Yeah. All right. I can't relate much to. Yeah, actually, what what I think is why I started live streaming while making projects is so that I can learn from others' experiences. People can learn from my experiences. So yeah, it's actually great to be honest. It is a good trend in industry also. Like I work remotely at a startup, but Yeah, generally I also connect over calls to solve some issues. So yeah, peer programming is a really good thing and it helps you learn a lot of things, to be honest. AWS, get one. All right, let's see what lambdas are. Okay, so basically what a lambda is, do you know what serverless things are, what serverless functions are, or what how they actually work, or why serverless is actually good? Just give me a minute. I'll be back in 10 seconds. Till then you type if you know some basics about serverless functions or not. All right, I'm back. Okay, I was thinking I was having a session in college today about servlet in Java. Okay, basically a servlet is different thing. Serverless is a different thing. So how generally every website works is you got to run a cloud server, right? It's like when you do npm run dev locally or npm start locally or anything, right? What it does is it simply runs a local server on your machine. How to host anything? Very simple. You run a server in cloud. For example, if you'll see, I'll have a server. I have an EC2 machine running as a cloud server, right? Which is hosting all my projects. For example, if you go on passwordmanager.anushtaka.dev, it is being run. Oh, why is this not working? Why not? Oh, this is not working. Why? Okay, I have to check the deployment of this. If I go to pc.unstoppable.dev, this should be working. Yeah. So basically, anything working uh, is actually everything is working on servers. Now, serverless comes in for different functionalities. For example, I have this emailer functionality. What it does is serverless only gives you the bill for the number of functions, number of times you have invoked that function. What servers do is a machine is constantly running somewhere around in the world, which is serving your website every single time. However, what serverless does is it only runs when a request is received on this function. So basically, it runs a function on every single request. Let's say I sent a request, a new function will be generated for me, a new function will be running for me. You sent a request, a new function will be running for you. That's how serverless works. All right. It is not running on a dedicated server 24 by 7 for you. All right. Now what happens in serverless is like serverless for AWS, serverless on AWS is called Lambda. So what happens is as soon as you send a request to this Lambda, it runs this handler function with any detail you have sent. For example, if you see over here, all right, let me show you meeting controller. The invoke email, yeah. If you see, I have this invoke emailer coming from utils, right? What this invoke emailer does, it creates a function for me, which is function name, invocation type, right? Then it gives logs and it sends this payload. It invokes this lambda for me, all right? Asynchronously, basically in the background, it invokes this lambda. Every other thing is being done. Like I'm creating every meeting, I'm returning the response to user, I'm invoking the emailer in background during this. So basically, this emailer, this sending the email process is not stopping my main thread or not stopping my main request that is being sent from the client. So so right now what I've done is, since sending email is a non-critical task for me, creating meetings, first of all, is the real critical task for my server. So what I've done is the create email thing is on my main server running as a critical task, but I've sent this invoke emailer to my background, in my background, to a serverless function. So it does its own work in the background, sends the email and stops the server. And then I receive a email on my mail. Right, I receive an email about the new event, and till then, yeah, this request is also passed. It is not blocked by this email. It is not dependent on this key. Okay, until and unless this email will be sent, I will be blocking this main thread. It's not doing that. It is just sending the request to send the email. The rest of this thing is done on this microservice. So that's how serverless architecture works. That's how serverless works. It only gives you the bill for the number of requests that you have sent, not for the time it has been up for. Like if you see EC2 billing comes per hour. Like it will be giving you a specific bill, specific amount as your bill per hour for its runtime. However, for Lambda, it will be for the total amount of time it ran the functions. Like you can also set the configuration. Like I've set it as a timeout of 5 seconds. Like it will just run for 5 seconds. If the task is done within 5 seconds, it's good. If it is not, it will stop. Mm, yeah, I'm using await. Okay, so you're saying I'm using await, so main thread is blocked. Okay, good question. Over here, the main thread is actually not blocked because I send an emailer. I just invoke this emailer, right? So what this does is it sends a invoke command. Over here, what you can do is you have different invocation types. All right. Basically, if you go in invoke command, okay, let me show you something. See, uh, mainly there are two invocation types. All right. One is event. The two main invocation types that we'll be using mostly is invocation type event and invocation type request response. What this invocation type event does is very simple actually. Okay, do I have it? Yeah, there you see event and request response. When I send invocation type as event, it just invokes the function and tells me with the response ki whether the function was invoked or not. It does not wait for the function to execute completely and wait for its response. So basically, all I'm doing over here is just sending the function a request कि भाई just start running your process. I don't care what the final answer of that function is. I don't care what the final response of that function is. I just invoke that function and start doing my work. So over here, as soon as I send this command, I'll be receiving a response कि okay, the function is invoked successfully. I'll return true, and yeah, that's it. If I would have done request response over here, what it would have done is sent the command, would have waited for this whole function to execute. Like what? Then it would have waited, ki, okay, it will generate this EJS file, then it will send this mail, and then it will return me the final response. Okay, it would have happened if I would have done request response. But since I've done event invocation type as event, it just invokes that function and comes back to me. Okay, I have invoked the function successfully. You can resume our task. The function will continue its processing in the background on its own server. All right. So that's how That's why this does not block my main thread even after using await. Was this clear? Or if you have any doubt, you can type it out. I'll try to make it clear for you. Yeah. Alright, now I want to check why my password manager is not working. Why is this not working? DNS address could not be found. Okay, not added it over here. I'm not implemented message queue in this project, but I have implemented it in password manager. If you want, I can show you like how it works. Basically, not exactly the message queue. It's just I'm using it's kind of a queue mechanism for using Redis is what I have implemented in password manager. Okay, give me a second. I'll just show you the message queue thing. Just give me a second. I'll just quickly check if the deployment is working or not. Like why this is not working. Name is 462.125. Have I not added the domain? Because I created password manager. Oh, okay, got it. I haven't added it for password manager. Kya? No, I have added it. Is it not working then? Okay, this is strange. Oh, got it. That's the issue, man. All right. This password manager has the queue implemented actually. Like how it works is if I do a forgot your password and all right, even if you implement message queue, right, it doesn't guarantee you कि it would work. Like you might have noticed sometimes you do not receive emails from some companies or from some organizations, right? What happens is it would have been a less critical task if I was sending the emails for OTPs, right? Since it is just a notification for you, okay, you have received a new request on your dashboard. It is not that critical, right? Now, coming to the point where you're saying ki, function is non-critical but should get executed, right? Notification systems are generally considered non-critical because even if you miss out the notification, doesn't matter. At least you got to save the data in DB. Now, in an idle case, it won't miss out, right? Coming to the message queue thing, message queue doesn't guarantee you ki, okay, it will for sure execute the function, right? A reason being, what happens in a message queue? Okay, let's discuss this. That's an interesting topic you just started actually. We can discuss this. Great, give me a second. Deployment steps now. Cool. No. What happens in a message queue is very simple, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Now the question is, are you talking about basic message queues, which are just doing nothing, but over here I have this queue in my architecture, and what it does is it gets me numbers from here. Oh yeah, wait a second, I gotta next get it raw. All right, yeah, this is better. See, now what will happen is you have your events over here, right? What will it do? It will simply take this event, do emailer one with this, and that just pops it out, right? Basically, this is popped, right? Now, since it is popped out from queue, let's say this fails. Let's say my function fails to execute. Even if it fails, now to make it work, to make it retry, I'll have to re-implement I have to implement something, a fallback mechanism, right? For example, if you see for a Lambda, what you can do is, if you need such fallback mechanism, what you can do is simply attach this to SQS. SQS simple queue service of AWS, right? You can add a trigger over here. You can connect it to SQS, right? And then you can create a new queue. And what I'll be doing in my back code is pushing the events to this queue, and it will every single element of that queue will execute a new Lambda function. Let's say my Lambda fails. You can add a fallback mechanism in your queue, which is called a retry mechanism. AWS, basically SQS gives you it out of the box, gives it to you out of the box. You just have to tick mark it, and if the event fails, in that scenario, it is repushed into the queue, and after 30 seconds or whatever time limit you set, it tries to resend it, right? Now, that is one scenario. That is one scenario where you can use queue mechanism. Now, your typical queue, which you were talking about, won't be doing this out of the box. You'll won't be doing it on its own. You'll have to go out of the box and implement a fallback mechanism for it, where it sends emails to even the failed users. Basically, it retries, right? This is one of the approaches. Next thing, next approach is push it to a queue or your manual queue. Basically, it can be something like Redis list or anything, right? That's the case of message queue. Let's say you get a message broker like Kafka, right? There also you put elements. Now, message broker is what will solve your actual problem over here now, right? There are two ways to solve your problem. What you said is, number one, connect it to SQS and implement a fallback mechanism. Number two, connect it to a message broker instead of a message queue. Now, what message brokers give you is, even if the event is failed, like let's say you get these events one by one, even on receiving the event on a new function, the event doesn't get popped out immediately. It stays there in the broker or in the pipeline for some time. So you can basically retry for the failed events. That's how it will basically solve your problem. Not only a single message queue will solve your problem. Implementing a simple message queue won't solve your problem. You'll have to implement the fallback mechanism on your own at last. One short way is you can use SQS by check marking some of the events. You can say, okay, my fallback mechanism is implemented. But yeah, that is how you can save the potential failure of notification system. But generally, notification systems are built like this. Okay, if I try to send an email, if it is sent, well and good. If not, General notification systems don't retry it that much until unless it's a really critical notification. For example, uh, what is an example of, like, okay, let's say it's a promotional notification. Promotional notification fails for 10 to 50 users, 15 users out of, let's say, what, 200 users, doesn't affect me that much. However, if it's a payment notification service, like you might have noticed sometimes the payment notification of some bank might even be delayed by a day or two. Like you might even receive the notification 2 days later. So that's where this whole failure mechanism or fallback mechanism should be implemented. Otherwise, in this scenario, it will be just over engineering or overkilling the stuff, which I don't think is good. So yeah, and if you want to see some queue mechanism, I have implemented it. I can show it to you. Code. All right. Yeah, basically, I have implemented it over here. This password manager doesn't use a microservice architecture like Lambda or anything. It just simply pushes the events into a Redis list, and a function is running in the background constantly. Not a very good practice. Like what it does is it simply runs this function, send emails. Okay, not a really good practice. It keeps running on the main thread always and just waits for it. Okay, if a new event is pushed into the queue, it will just send the email. Now, how it works is, if you see consume from queue, it does br pop. Now, br pop from Redis, what essentially does is, let's say your queue is empty and you hit a br pop. It will just keep waiting until unless a new event is pushed into the Redis list. Until then, it will just block that particular thread of popping. So that's how this is utilized in this. Again, a really bad architecture since it's blocking the main thread to send notifications. It should have been something like you push it into some queue, some external queue like SQS or something. That SQS is connected to a Lambda. That is what sends the emails out to servers or users. Now, uh, it would essentially be connected to two different SQS. Why? I'll tell you. If you see if you see this is my password manager. It sends two kinds of notifications to users. All right. One is profile verification and another is forgot password. Okay. These are the two kinds of notifications that are being sent to the users. Now, if your application is really being used by a lot of users, what you would essentially do in this case is, according to me, separate it for two queues. These will be the two queues. All right. This would be and these would be the two queues. Reason for this is if you just simply push it to a single queue, na, it might happen there are 10 new requests for your verify profile email or for your, let's say, reset password email, and the 11th request is for the other event. Now, what it will do is first resolve those 10 requests, then it will reach that 11th request. Now, I want both these requests to be handled separately because both of these are kind of critical for me. Since the user will see a timer of 30 seconds on his screen that okay, you would have received an OTP. Please enter it to verify, or else regenerate an OTP after 30 seconds, right? In that case, I would be having two different queues for both of my notification services. And then these two different queues can be connected to a single Lambda. Oh, both of these would be connected to a single Lambda. Reason being, Lambda can have templates of both the queues. And after that, yeah, basically Lambda will have templates for both of these emails, and with a flag, whether it is a verify profile email or a verify reset password email, that can be sent as a Boolean flag. And based on that flag, the Lambda will send the email out to users. Okay, is there any good resource that you would recommend? I know ways of these advanced topics, but did not do any implementation. Okay, all right. For that implementation, I would just say just start making projects. That's the best way you can do it. The best learning is when you create hands-on projects. You'll get stuck in a lot of problems, and when you Google stuff about those problems, or let's say even if you use AI or use GPT to solve your problems, you'll get to know a lot if you learn it properly. Like if you see, then I created this like how I learned Golang from scratch was create a project straight up from scratch. That's how I learned Golang. There would be live streams of that also. There might be a playlist on my channel for that. So yeah, I prefer creating hands-on projects for learning any new topic. That would be the best way to learn anything, I would suggest. If you get stuck in any problem, just Google about it, and you'll get like why I prefer Googling when you get stuck is over any new problem. If you're doing it for the first time, is because you get to know a lot about 10 other things also. So yeah, if you want to learn about Redis has a really good documentation. If you want to learn about AWS has a really good documentation out there. Like, yeah, if you want to learn about, let's say, Lambda has a really good documentation. SQS has a really good documentation. AWS has itself has a really intuitive UI. So yeah, that's how you can learn, I would say. Uh, all right, this was about Lambda. And let me know if you wanna open or contribute to the Kali project. Just send a request for me to assign that issue to you. I'll assign that issue to you and you can work on that. Mm, all right, this is done. Kali's working fine. I guess I can. This is also working fine. Cool, cool. I can log out. Can I log out? Yeah, I can log out. Yeah, sure. You can send out a request for assigning that issue to you. I'll do that. Oh, user profile is not getting cleared. Yeah, I found one more issue over here. This is not clearing my user profile. That is something that should not happen. Let's see. Let's take this issue out. What do you do, by the way? Like, are you a student? Are you working? What do you do exactly? All right, it should be in front end actually. Provider, log out. Oh, great. So how's the journey going actually? Alright, this is what the issue is. Nice, that's really nice. Which project? You can paste the link in the chat. You can check it out. Solo 3D cricket game. Okay, where can I access it? If you can tell me, I can just. IoT game development. Let's see if it works now. It should. Did it? Don't think it did work. But for some reason it did not work. I think I'll continue. I'll fix this tomorrow most probably. What? Yeah. Alright, what's your GitHub account? Let's check out your GitHub. What's your GitHub account? Oh, I can find the game over there, right? I'm actually interested to know in the game. I'm researching how to share link. Oh, okay. Just tell me the GitHub account. I'll try it out. The project sounds really interesting, actually. Okay, I think you have shared it on your LinkedIn, right? It is Cricket Maniac 5.versal.app. Oh, all right. I'll use this username. There you go. Polling backend. What is this about? Uh, what is polling exactly? Must be hosted over here, right? Cookie parcel, JSON webpack, shared. Open.js. Cool. It's not the correct URL, man. Actually, you have made that repo public now. Okay, you can create polls. Okay, let's poll. Okay, this is polls that matter discover what everyone thinks. It's fascinating how on render it is working. Okay, it must be sleeping. Then render wakes up after 50 seconds or what? Ah, it worked. Great. What is the preferred mode of transpiration? Share locked. What is the share locked? Lock it to play. Okay. No, it is actually working now. It is actually working. I can see. You're using MongoDB, which is a feared. Alright, now this is. See, this is where you can, I think, work better on this. This work. Okay, I have to log in. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to unlock. Options are this. Right, one thing, if you have logged the questions, why are you sending the response? Sending everything in response? Like as in, just give me a second, where is the question? Like if you have logged the question, you should not send the response over here in open, right? Password is admin. This thing password is admin. What is the user? What is this password for exactly? Okay, this takes me to this. Okay, great. All right, let me check out the cricket game first. Cricket Maniac 5. .app. Okay. Okay, it is different. This login page is to create an account. Okay, this login page is to create an account, right? You're saying, okay, great. Wait. Can I go to this is logged as saying share. What does this QR do? Okay, what happened, bro? The project got stuck or what? Okay, this is just a QR to the page. All right. It's saying it's logged. All right, I get every single question on the home page itself. It is logged. I can create a question, set a password, unlock. Sure, give me a moment. I'll just open the URL. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm not judging, bro. Not judging. Just trying to figure out some things. Don't worry. I think everybody does such stuff. This is what I was adding, right? Cricket Maniac dot dash dash 5. Ah, right. I was not adding it as a text. That's really good. Like without AI tools is really good nowadays. Eh, does it have a multiplayer support also? That's great. Oh, that's a really good animation over there. How do I play it? Follow the ball, it is saying. How do I play it, bro? Oh, it is not. Okay. Shift plus left key, left short. Shift plus right key, right short. Oh man, the bat just flew away. Oh, I have to ball also. How do I ball? Okay, I have to first bowl and then bat. Okay. Okay, test. Got it, got it. So what are you using? Are you using 3JS or what? I did hit a shot, man. I did hit a shot. React 3 Fiber. Oh, if you wanna build 3D websites, you might try 3JS. 3JS is really good for 3D websites. Okay, am I signed up? Success at true. What are you doing for sign up? Are you storing me somewhere? I don't think you are. Okay, let me do it again. Give me a second. Oh, that's good. That's a good animation actually. Yeah, this one is cool. This animation is cool. Follow the ball one is really cool. Seems cool. Seems pretty cool to me actually. Interesting how it did it. Like I'm not that much into front end, so yeah, I find it pretty interesting to be honest. Oh, hey, just a single question over here. Like if you want to refine this thing out. Okay, you must be maintaining. Ah, got it. How are you maintaining my authentication over here? Are you storing it in cookies or what? Like, I cannot see my token anywhere. What are you doing over here? Let's see. It's authentication.js. Alright, you're using cookies to store my authentication details. Now the next question I have in my mind is why is it password protected in the same time and at the same time I'm receiving this password on front end? And this does not have anything. Yeah.
Wrong password.
Oh, said wrong password. Okay. Wait, it is what? Best daily street food. Okay, it has password 123. That's a really good touch, right? I entered wrong password. It said wrong password. What was the enter request over here? This gave me everything. Pole is chole bhature, samosa. Okay, great. What is this? Why is this giving me this bike and all? Okay, it's interesting. The background is really interesting to be honest. Okay, Oh, it's totally okay. This is not sync. This is not in sync, bro. The poles are somewhat getting wrongly matched over here. Like if you see, let's see what is happening over here. I'm adding which programming language you know. You enter and option selected JavaScript. Now it is working fine. All right, not using any state management library. That's why. Context API. Okay. Why don't you use state? Simply use state then. Like you can optimize the API calls in a way key. Okay. First of all, not every single data is sent in here. Like for example, if I see, I already have every single data, like option selected, what is the password, what are the options I'll see inside. So there's no point in locking this. Now let's say I enter this. What you're sending in enter is car, bike. This data is redundant, kind of redundant. I already have seen it in network. Now over here you can use effect, right? Use effect will be changing on every single question change. So this would automatically reload in that scenario. And instead of sending the every single poll, you can simply send the count over here because this will eventually lead to a really big response size. Okay, right now it's a small project, but if you think from the scalability perspective, it will really increase the response size, which is not that good. You can simply send the count after calculating it on the back end. So like right now, I think what you'll be doing is traversing over this pooled array, and then you would be maintaining a set or hash map, something a hash map kind of thing to increase the count to generate this chart, right? You need not send this password admin from the backend. This is action.js. Okay. Where are your models? Have you maintained any models? Okay, there it is. I think you are more into front end than back end, right? Like your front end skills are good, I guess. Like I personally am not that good at front end. EDSC brings back memories. Automated bureaucracy backend. Yeah, that's what I could see. You are more into backend, more into front end than backend, I think. Yeah, that's good actually. That's good start, to be honest. Bro, just hide the stripe key from here. You have just exposed your stripe key. Just make this repository private or something like that to hide your stripe key. Yeah, all right. I guess that's it for today. I got a work tomorrow also, so that's it for today. Let's see you tomorrow. Again, I'll continue the streaming tomorrow. Cool. Thanks for watching, bro. Thanks for watching. Good night. Bye bye.